Here we go, our Friday edition of the Orange and Brown Talk podcast. We continue working through the Browns positions. This is pretty much it here. We're talking defensive backs, so corners and safeties. Before we get started, I just asked our Football Insider subscribers probably about half an hour, 45 minutes ago with their thoughts to rate the defensive backs on a scale of 1 to 10 when it comes to confidence level, 10 being the most confident. And so far early on, and I think this is going to continue, it is an 8. And a lot of 9s. So a very confident group, our Football Insider subscribers in these defensive backs, and with good reason.
In talking to a couple of the guys at the end of last season, they are aiming to be the best secondary in the NFL. That's what they want to be. So what do you guys think? I mean, are they good enough to earn that role this next year in 2022? Can they be the number 1 secondary in the NFL?
I think it depends on that second safety position. The thing is, the safety position has the potential to be like, whoa, incredible, right? If John Johnson is John Johnson and then Grant Delpit makes a leap. Like now you're looking, oh man, this safety position is unbelievable. I'm pretty confident in the corners as long as they both stay healthy. And Denzel did that this year. Greg Newsome in and out of the lineup a little bit, but that's okay. So yeah, I think the potential is there. And Troy Hill is probably a big part of that, having a really solid slot guy in there. I think they have the potential to put themselves in that discussion.
I mean, they were PFF's top-rated coverage team this season. So they're not too far from the top. They're 9th in EPA per target, but that includes like linebackers and everybody. So, I mean, they're already really good. And like I said, I think they were the bigger part of why this defense was good this past season. I think more so than being the best, I think is making sure they at least duplicate what happened this past season.
And secondary is a big group, right? I mean, we're talking about like 5 positions here basically. But again, the idea that it's 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, and 2 very targeted veteran free agent signings who are like your top 6 guys. Can you imagine like if their receiver core was that? And it'd be like, okay, like it better be, or it better be close to the best secondary of the NFL because they've invested here. They've invested a lot of draft capital and money at this. And it looks like, Mary Kay, right? You're saying like it feels like it worked. Mm-hmm. So I like if that's what we're talking about, I just don't think like we shouldn't be surprised by this because when you take Denzel Ward at number 4 in the draft, this is what you're hoping for. And it worked. And when you take Greg Newsome, number 1, like it worked. So it's just weird. Again, I think people are getting more used to it. They didn't make the playoffs. People are sad, but this was like a plan that worked. And so I don't think it is crazy to talk that way, like at all.
And, you know, the one thing that I think they need to do to take it to the next level and really become known for that is to make more of those game-changing plays that we're talking about. Punch the ball out more, blitz a little bit more, get some more sacks, and definitely get some more interceptions. They started to get some a little bit more down the stretch, but getting those takeaways will put them on the map in terms of a secondary. You want to be feared. You want to be afraid to throw that football, over the middle or whatever the case may be. So I think that these guys now need to establish themselves as, remember, back, when you would play Ed Reed or Troy Polamalu, you were afraid to throw the ball in certain spots. So they need to become that. And I think that it would be, really nice if one guy could get hot with interceptions and end up with like 7 or 8 in a season. So they need something like that.
By the way, we talk about this all the time, right? When we talk about Baker Mayfield, well, you got to be able to beat Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert and maybe Deshaun Watson and what all these guys. Well, if you're not going to have the quarterback that can go toe to toe with them, you better at least be able to cover. Because whatever the Bengals did in the second half against the Chiefs, they made Patrick Mahomes look like a high school quarterback. And you're not going to do that every time you play him, but you've got to have the ability to do something in the secondary when you're going against these guys.